Reserve borrowing. In a time of disaster, how can boards keep operations moving despite delinquencies? To meet cash flow problems, boards are allowed to borrow from the association's reserves without a vote of the membership. In addition to borrowing from reserves, you can boost your operational cash by temporarily reducing or stopping your reserve contributions. Boards want to ensure they have enough cash on hand to pay bills. It is intended to be a temporary situation, and boards can use monies scheduled for transfers into reserves to cover operational shortfalls. Boards are required to give notice of their intent to borrow reserve funds by listing it as an agenda item in their notice of board meeting. The notice must include the reasons the reserve transfer is needed, some options for repayment, and whether a special assessment may be considered. If a board authorizes a transfer, it must issue a written finding, recorded in the minutes, and explaining when the money will be repaid to the reserves. Monies borrowed from the reserves must be repaid within 365 days of the date of initial transfer. Under some conditions, the board may temporarily delay payment. Here are some additional tips to keep in mind. There is no need to adopt a new mid-year budget. Budgets are projections, and sometimes associations experience unexpected shortfalls in cash receipts and/or unexpected expenses. Next year's budget will probably need adjustments. Reserve funds are typically invested in certificates of deposit. When they mature, boards should consider not reinvesting the money. Instead, leave it in the reserve account so the money is readily available to cover operational shortfalls if they need to borrow it. Another means of preserving cash is to defer non-essential reserve expenditures. Projects can be delayed and scheduled for a later date, provided they are not life and safety related. What we've learned here is that in a time of disaster, boards have the ability to pay bills and keep their associations on track as the country starts to recover. Delinquencies caused by the disaster should abate once businesses restart and workers are rehired. The economy will recover.